I will admit I hate to do this video for all mothers out there that have a child in care, but this is the reason we should not be adopting any children out unless it is literally necessary. This woman obviously lost her child and they unalived it because basically she, as far as I've read the story from, as you can see, Mirror, she won the child back, like the actual biological mother, and because they weren't happy that they had to give the child back, that happened. And that's not the first time this has happened. It's happened a few times where the biological parent has won their child back, or sometimes they haven't won the child back and the adopters have kept the kid, and the biological parent never gets to see their child again. But this still happens. Now, you can pause and read this, but like I said, if you actually look, there are more children today dying in foster care and adoption than there is dying at home. They S-hate her, two men that apparently was gay. But this is not the first time someone that is a pedo has adopted a child. It has happened a few times where children have been taken into care by social workers, and some of the social workers have actually essayed them themselves. You can search all this up on Google, or you can message me for the proof because I've got everything saved on my phone. Obviously, I've got everything saved on my phone because I do videos like this, but I just think this is absolutely disgusting that they are giving children to people that they haven't fully assessed. Now, if you're the biological mother dealing with social services, you're the family, you have to get assessed, your friends have to get assessed, your family has to get assessed, your mum, your dad, every single person has to get assessed, right? Why didn't these? And if you actually look online, every single person that adopts a child has to pay 27 grand for one child, and it goes up, but I'll show you in this video how much they actually get. Yeah, it was... Sorry if my dog heard another dog, so I had to pause the video then. But yes, that bit, that's why I took a screenshot of that bit. But it's absolutely ridiculous. And if you actually look online, did you know they actually cover it up as best as they can? I'll show you all the proof now. I have got a screenshot that I took of a newspaper years ago, and it's a social worker lied in court in order to take the child off the biological parents. And obviously when a social worker takes your child into care, they get straight away £22,000 just for taking your child into care. That's not including the bonuses and stuff they get. This is an actual website where you can go on, and basically where it says go to, you click the search bar, you can type in what child you want, what ethnicity, what eye colour. It's basically like shopping on Amazon. This is how we're treating kids nowadays. They are literally getting trafficked right in front of us and sold, and none of us can do anything. If you try speaking up, you get arrested for it. This is a social worker on YouTube who was actually running for her life because she refused to get an adoption for one child that her manager told her to. They started threatening her for like smashing her windows. Every single thing is on here. She tried speaking out and they actually locked her up in mental health to keep her quiet. She even said, like, and obviously this is all on YouTube, you can literally go and watch it. She said if parents come to us not monsters, like they're perfectly good parents, she said we make them leave as monsters because that's what we're trained to do in uni. This is a social worker that I found that actually posted court document work on her I think this is X, or it used to be called Twitter, didn't it? But yes, actually on her feed, boasting and celebrating that she's just been offered a brand new promotion. She got a free fully paid holiday for getting this adoption order. This is a picture of her profile as well. She's basically told a new student who's just graduated and is not allowed to handle any court cases yet because they've just graduated. The law states you have to be 3 years qualified from uni and already in work. So you've got to be working as a social worker for 3 years before you can do an adoption order. This woman didn't. She lied on 3 different statements. One statement, she said that she was working 14 years. Then another one said she was working 3 years. Then another one said she was working 4. This picture of the cake, she posted it and said, I can't be asked to do my work today. Can someone else do it for me? So a student commented down saying, I have just graduated. If you give me a cake, I will do your work for you. These are the messages of where she's literally saying, congratulations, that's amazing, well done, because she's going on a free holiday. Like I said, she just got offered a brand new promotion, and this is the woman that's just graduated college, well, uni, to become a social worker, and she said, if you give me a cake, I'll do your work for you. She doesn't have a clue about the child. She has no information, nothing. You are getting a stranger to look in a document that might not even have the correct information. And as you can see, these are the rest of the comments. And yes, by the way, she did give her a cake. And that woman ended up, well, which I think it was that one or whichever one basically ended up doing the coursework. She actually screwed up the whole case. The woman still lost her child, but there was court evidence to prove that she had actually mixed two children up by mistake. Because like I said, she didn't know the kids. So she had got one mother's child mixed up with someone else's and the wrong child got adopted. This is her celebrating about her brand new promotion after putting court evidence online and everything for everyone to see, even though it's supposed to be confidentiality stuff. She, obviously, like I said, she just got promoted and she got a fully paid holiday with her promotion. This is a letter from a child who had been abused by their foster parents, who probably would have been better at home. It says, if I can get the camera right, things I want in my family. I want food and water. Don't hit on me. A house with... I can't read that because it's kids writing. I think that says running water and light. I want love. Mum and dad, don't fight. And then I can't see the rest because of the record buttons in the middle. But as you can see, it's a child basically saying that he gets beaten up by his foster carer, adoption parents, and that they don't give him clean water. They don't even let him eat. He's not allowed to be in a room with the lights on. They're proper abusing this child. And as you can see, I think this was in about 2 years ago. Maybe even 4 years ago. I've had this screenshot for years. This is a healthy eating board that is actually in a contact centre in Ashton. And, well, actually I think it's in Denton. But basically they tell your kids not to eat stuff like this. Well, obviously I think, where is my finger there? I think that's the one you're not allowed to give kids stuff. That's the fruit, that's all the meat, and then there's other stuff. But basically, if you zoom in and read it, you can read it yourself. They basically say that you should do home-cooked meals like this all the time, and that's the only thing you should feed your children. Except foster parents don't do that. Social workers don't do that. They take the kid out for pizza and stuff. They buy the kid a takeaway. So you're telling us to do something completely different than what you are doing. This is also in the same centre, but as you can see, it's got pictures underneath of how much sugar and salt is in stuff. But you're going to refuse your kid sugar or, like, pop just because it's got a bit of sugar in it. Every single thing we eat nowadays nearly has sugar in it, or it's unhealthy. We don't have a clue what's in our food. And social workers go out and buy Coke for kids, and Coke is the second most dangerous thing you can give a child. Social workers do that on a daily. We're foster carers and adoption parents, but yet we're not allowed to do it because we get looked bad on. But it's okay for them to do it. This is how much you get paid for being a social worker. This does not include bonuses. This does not include your free car that you get or discounts or the free holiday that includes in it. As you can see, it's happened plenty of times before, and it will continue to happen. This is another time. Look, child's death again. Over and over it happens again. Look, so many. Over and over again, like I said, never going to stop. Yep, here's another one. I think I've got one more of these. Right, yeah, sorry, apparently I've got two more. There's this one, and then finally this one. I think I've actually got one more, but let me have a look. Yep, this is the website and how much you get paid for each case and how much the case is worth. So, yeah. And then don't forget there is extra costs as well on top of this. But that's a nice little payout there, isn't it? This, by the way, is actually true. I actually know the guy. He's on social media. When it's like social services tried to offer me £500 for my baby. That is actually true. He actually went on BBC News as well years ago. This is the news article where it says price of a mother's pain. Hopefully one day we can stop this, but at the minute, obviously you can't. But yep, as you see, they need more foster carers, which means more children. And it tells you there the amount of children that go in foster care a day, and just think a percentage of that number go missing every year. But obviously this is, yeah, 64 children that went missing, and I think it was actually a lot more if you look up the article. But this is a shame. It's a shame, obviously, because you expect them to help and protect your kids, and this is just the complete opposite. I don't know what else to say on it, so if you've got anything else to say, please put a comment. Don't forget to like and follow.